Hello everyone. In the last session, we have discussed about the magnetism of Earth. Okay, in that we have seen that how the Earth acts like a magnet. In the year of 1600, William Gilbert proposed the concept that Earth behaves like a magnet. How it behaves like a magnet? How it was? Everything yesterday we have discussed. Is it? Today, let us discuss magnetic elements of Earth. Magnetic elements of Earth. Before going to that, let us discuss briefly last session's concepts. Okay. So this is the diagram. Just think that this is the Earth. This is the Earth. This one is the GN and GS. GN and GS are nothing but the geographical north and south. Is it? And this is MS and this one is MN, which is magnetic south and magnetic north pole of the Earth. Okay, so like that only. Yesterday we have discussed that definitions of geographical axis, magnetic axis, geographical meridian, magnetic meridian, as well as geographical equator and magnetic equator. Okay, so geographical axis means it is the imaginary line which is passing through the geographical north and south pole of the Earth. This is the imaginary line. Is it? Like that only. Geographical meridian means it is nothing but a plane, a vertical plane which is passing through the geographical axis. Geographical axis is called geographical meridian. And geographical equator, this is the line which is exactly perpendicular to the geographical axis. This line is nothing but the geographical equator. It exactly cuts the geographical axis, that too with the 90 degree. Is it clear? Like that only. Magnetic axis in the sense it is the imaginary line which is passing through the magnetic south and north pole of the Earth. These are the north and south pole of the Earth. Is it clear? Then magnetic meridian means it is the vertical plane which is passing through the magnetic axis of the Earth is called magnetic meridian. Like that only. Magnetic equator is nothing but which is the line which cuts the magnetic axis with a 90 degree. That is what the magnetic equator, which cuts the magnetic axis, that too exactly half of that. So these are the concepts yesterday we have discussed about Earth. Is it clear? And the next concept is, that is what? Magnetic elements of the Earth. Magnetic elements of the Earth in the sense, what are those? These elements give the directions of the magnetic field lines. Is it clear? Directions, strength, whatever it may be. So those elements are nothing but the magnetic elements. Number one is magnetic declination. It is denoted by theta. And second one is magnetic inclination. It is denoted by alpha. And third one is horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, and it is denoted by BH. So let us discuss these three concepts. They may ask for 3 marks, or they may ask for 5 marks also. As write the Earth's magnetic elements with explanation. We have to explain them. Is it clear? So let us discuss first one, magnetic declination. It is nothing but the theta. We will denote that magnetic declination with the theta symbol. Is it clear? So what is that magnetic declination? It is the angle between the geographical meridian and magnetic meridian is called magnetic declination. Is it clear? Here it is. As we know that this is what the geographical meridian and this is what the magnetic meridian. Magnetic meridian. This one is equator, sorry, equator, and this is what? Magnetic meridian. So angle between these two is nothing but the magnetic declination. It's very simple definition, is it? The angle between the geographical meridian, which is this one is the geographical meridian, and the magnetic meridian is called magnetic declination. This is what theta. So I have drawn that diagram here. Yes, if we take a magnetic needle, or if you take a magnetic bar, if you suspend that freely, then it comes to the rest at magnetic north and south pole of the earth. So let us imagine this is the bar magnet of the earth. As we know that ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಭೂಮಿದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಯಾವ ಸೈಡ್ ಅದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲ್ ಸೌತ್ ಕಡೆ ಅದ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಭೂಮಿದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಸೌತ್ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ಅದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಕಡೆ ಅದ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದು ನಾರ್ತ್ ಸೌತ್ ಯಾಕೆ ತೋರಿಸದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಾರ, ಆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದ, ಮತ್ತ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ತೋರಿಸದ, ಸೌತ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ತೋರಿಸದ. ಯಾಕೆ ತೋರಿಸದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಾರ ಭೂಮಿದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಸೌತ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಅದ, ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಅದ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿರ್ತೈತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಇರ್ತೈತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೌತ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ, ಸೌತ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ. ಹೌದಾ? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲಿನೇಷನ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ನಾನು ಒಂದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡೇನಿ. ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ ನಿಂತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಕಡೆ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲದ, ಬಟ್ ಬಂದ್ ನಿಲ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು. ಇದು ಬಂದ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ ನಿಲ್ಲಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ತಿರುಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ರೋಟೇಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇದೇನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದೆ ವಿತ್ ಅನ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ 10 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಈ ಕಡೆ ತಿರುಗಿಪ್ಪ, ತಿರುಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ಇದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ಯಾಕಡೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದೆ. ನಾರ್ತ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹೇಳಬಹುದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಅಲ್ಫಾ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲಿನೇಷನ್ which is facing towards the west, and here it is facing towards the east. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ನಿಲ್ಲೋದು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದ. ಸೊ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಬುಕ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ದ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿ ಯಾವುದು ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ 11.5 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, 12 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, 10 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, whatever it may be. It is depends upon the location. Is it clear? So now ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 11.5 degree will be the angle between the geographical meridian and magnetic meridian. So this is what the magnetic declination. I think you understood the concept. Okay. So what is magnetic declination? It is the angle between the geographical north and geographical meridian and magnetic meridian. Here it is the magnetic meridian. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ತಗೋತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. Is it clear? So this angle is nothing but the magnetic declination. So I think you clear the concept. Next one is magnetic inclination. Alpha ಅಂತ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕಾಣತ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಾರ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್. ಇದ ಬುಕ್ ಐತಿ, ನಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಾರ ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ತರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Is it clear? So let us imagine this is what the geographical north and this is what the magnetic south, ಅಥವಾ this is what the geographical meridian and this is what the magnetic meridian. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಈ ತರ ಕರಿತೀನಿ. Is it clear? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ನಾನು? ಎಸ್, ಹೌದಾ? ಇದೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ geographical meridian and this is what the magnetic meridian. ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ, ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದರ ಹಾಫ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Is it clear? Okay. Then what is meant by magnetic inclination, or else you can also call it as dip. ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Dip ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So first of all, before going to this concept, let us see what is that freely suspended magnetic needle. Freely suspended magnetic needle in the sense that magnetic needle can rotate vertically as well as horizontally. This type of magnets are called freely suspended ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಫ್ರೀ ಆಗಿ ಬಿಟ್ರ ಅವು ಏನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ, ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ರೋಟೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ, ಇವನ್ ದೋ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾವ್ರಿ, ರೋಟೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ, ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್. ಇದೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ರೌಂಡ್, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಬಿಷನ್ದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ಸ್ಕೊತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಹಿಂಗೂ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಹಿಂಗೂ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾ ತಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅದು ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ ನಿಂತಿನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ರೊಟೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲಿ. It starts rotating first vertically and it comes to the rest at the position of magnetic meridian. Magnetic meridian ಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕಿರದ ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಭೂಮಿದ bar magnet. For example, earth behaves like a bar magnet, or you can call it as it behaves like a magnet ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ in this position. ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಂದಿದ್ದ ಇರೋಣ. ಆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಈ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ದಾಗ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದ. ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ದಿ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಡನ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಪ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಫಾಲ್ ಡೌನ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾ ಅಂತ ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಬಂದ್ ಬೀಳ್ತದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದ್ರಿ, ಬೆಳಕಬೇಕು. ಹಂಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಏನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ ಜಾಗದಾಗ ನಿಂತ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ, ಬೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದ, ಫಾಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದ. ಹೌದಾ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಏನ್ ತಗೋತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಪ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಡಿಪ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ ನಿಂತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ದಾಗ ಬಂದ್ ನಿಂತ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ದ angle between these two, is called magnetic inclination ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ inclination. So the angle between the magnetic meridian, or else you can also call it as the angle between the horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field and the resultant of the Earth's magnetic field is called magnetic inclination. So clear ಆಯ್ತು? ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಅದ, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಅದ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಏನ್ ತಗೊಂಡೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರ ದಿಕ್ಸೂಚಿ ತಗೊಂಡೇನಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ನೀಡಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡೇನಿ. ಅವಾಗ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ನಮ್ ದಿಕ್ಸೂಚಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದ. ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಸಡನ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತ್ರಿ, ಬೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದ. ಹಿಂಗ್ ನಿಂತಿ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಲ್ಲೋದು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆರಿಡಿಯನ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ದಾಗ ನಿಲ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಭೂಮಿದ ಬಾರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ. ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಂತ ಪೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಬೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೆಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು? ಇಷ್ಟು ಬೆಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರ್ತ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರ್ತ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Is it clear? So the angle between horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field and the resultant of the Earth's magnetic field gives the magnetic inclination ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. and it is denoted by alpha. ಇದು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ ನಾಳದು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದಿ ಅಲ್ಫಾ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಪ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ನಾಳದು. ಸೊ ನಮಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತ್ರಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. And third one is horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. So this is what the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, and this is what the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field ಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರೀಬಹುದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಾರ, BH is equal to cos alpha and BV is equal to sin alpha. These two are, what are these? ಇವೆರಡು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ, ಇದು ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ನಾವು ಕಾಸ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾ ಇದು ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಹಂಗಂದ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರ್ತದ. ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಾಕಬೇಕಾ, ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ resultant of the magnetic field, Earth's magnetic field, and this is what horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, and this is what vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field. Is it clear? ನಮಗೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಪೈಥಾಗೋರಸ್ ಥಿಯರಮ್. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ b square is equal to bh square plus bv square. Is it? So b is equal to square root of bh square plus bv square, or else you can write it as bh means bh cos theta plus bv sin theta square. So this is what a resultant of the magnetic field, Earth's magnetic field. If you know the value of bh and bv, then you can find out the resultant. That is what the bv, resultant of the Earth's magnetic field. ಹೌದಾ? then horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field one is this one, BH. Is it clear? We cleared all the concepts here. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ನಾಳದು. ಹೌದಾ? so what are we discussed now? Here it is. First one is magnetic declination. Here it is the magnetic declination theta. It is the angle between the geographical meridian and magnetic meridian. Next, magnetic inclination. It is the angle between the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field and resultant, or else you can also call it as it is the angle between the magnetic meridian and the resultant of the Earth's magnetic field. Is it clear? And this is what the BH, Earth's horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. That is what the BH. Okay. So what is BH? How to define that BH? Let us see now. So what is BH? BH is the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. How to define that? It is the total intensity of the Earth's magnetic field in a horizontal direction in a magnetic meridian. Is it clear? It is the total intensity is strength. It is the total intensity of the magnetic field in a horizontal direction. In a horizontal direction in the magnetic meridian is called horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Is it clear? These are the three concepts. That is what magnetic elements of Earth anta karithivre. Magnetic elements of Earth. So these are very important. So one more thing is, here we got the value of BH as well as BV. Is it? It means BH as well as BV. If we want tan, it means alpha value. How to find out that one? Here it is. Tan theta is nothing but sin theta divided by cos theta. So sin theta ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು ಬರ್ತೈತಿ ಕಡೆ? That is what? BV divided by BH. This is what? Tan alpha. If we want the value of alpha, then BV divided by BH. ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ? ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಾರ BV ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? sin theta, sin alpha, and BH ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? cos alpha. And this is nothing but tan alpha. Okay, the ratio of vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field and horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field is nothing but tan alpha, and it is nothing but the inclination of the gravity. So these are the three magnetic elements of Earth. Now let us discuss some definitions related to the Earth's magnetic field. What are those? Various definitions are there. Let us discuss now. Okay. Your definition cover. There are 7 definitions. They are very important. They may ask for 1 or 2 marks in the examination. As I told you, there are some important definitions are there. There are 7 definitions are there. These definitions are very important, and these are related to the magnetism. And definitely they will ask for at least 1 mark for the definition. Is it clear? Let us see what are those definitions, important terms we can call it as. So first one is magnetic flux. I think I have already discussed about the magnetic flux. The number of magnetic field lines passing through any area is called magnetic flux. The number of magnetic field lines passing through a surface is called magnetic flux. Let us say this is the one surface, and this is what the bar magnet. So here, while keeping a bar magnet near to the substance, so the magnetic field lines can enter the area. So the number of magnetic field lines entering the surface is nothing but the magnetic flux. It is denoted by phi, and its unit is Weber. Its unit is Weber. And second one is magnetic flux density, or else you can call it as strength of a magnetic field, and it is denoted by B. It is denoted by B. So what is the definition? The number of magnetic field lines passing normally through unit area of the surface. Here the magnetic field line should pass through any surface that should be perpendicular to the surface normally in the sense perpendicular. The number of magnetic field lines passing normally through unit area of the substance. Let us say this is the substance. In that I am going to take this much of portion, this much of area. Is it clear? Here, while keeping the magnet, the magnetic field line should enter this area that should be normally in the sense perpendicular to the surface ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. So that is what the magnetic flux density ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅಥವಾ magnetic strength of the magnetic field ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. It is denoted by B, and its unit is Weber per meter square. Weber per meter square. So ಹಿಂಗೂ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಪ್ಪ, magnetic flux per unit area. Magnetic flux per unit area is nothing but the magnetic flux density ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So magnetic flux ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಡಿನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ A, magnetic flux ಅನ್ನ ಏನು ಬರ್ತೀವಿ, ವೆಬರ್, ಏರಿಯಾ ಏನು ಬರ್ತೈತಿ ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್, ಮ್ಯಾಲ ವೆಬರ್ ಪರ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್. Weber per meter square. That is what the ratio of magnetic flux per unit area is nothing but the magnetic flux density. Nodri mottom definition banta. Howda illa? Okay. Now let us see the next definition, that is what magnetization, and it is denoted by M. It is denoted by M. The degree or extent to which the substance is magnetized. The degree or extent to which the substance is magnetized when placed in a magnetic field. When placed in a magnetic field. Short form of magnetic field, MF anta bardiddini. Okay. So I am going to take a substance. This is what is substance. I am going to keep that substance in the magnetic field area. Let us imagine. This is what the magnetic field area. I am going to keep the substance, a material, iron piece, in the magnetic field area. At that time, it acquires some properties of magnets. Is it clear? Obviously, it will acquire some properties of magnets. So, how much it acquire, how much properties it acquire, that is what the magnetization. The degree or extent to which the substance is magnetized. ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ magnetized ಆಯಿತು. How much it is magnetized while keeping this substance inside the magnetic field. That is what the magnetization. That is what the magnetization. Okay. So one more definition for magnetization is magnetic dipole moment per unit volume of the substance. Magnetic dipole moment, we know the dipole moment, that is what the M, it is denoted by M, and its formula is, expression is Qm into 2L. Qm into 2L in the sense, Qm means pole strength into 2L means length. Is it clear? Here it is. M net, magnetic net dipole moment divided by volume. ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಕುಡಿಲಿಲ್ಲ ಇಂತು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೆಫರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್. ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡೈಪೋಲ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ is nothing but the magnetization, and this is the expression Qm into 2L, A into 2L, volume can be written as area into length. Is it? So here 2L will get cancelled, remaining is Qm divided by A. Is it clear? So one more definition for magnetization is, it is the ratio of pole strength per inch area. Can you see? There are three definitions. We can define that magnetization in three types. How much it is? How it is? Pole strength per unit area, or else magnetic dipole moment per unit volume, or else degree or extent to which the substance is magnetized and placed in the magnetic field. So this is what the magnetization. Is it clear? Nodri, the expression dira madkodre yes intadre Qm divided by Qm. We know about the Qm, that is what the pole strength per unit area. Pole strength per unit area of the substance is nothing but the magnetization. Is it clear? Okay. And the next one is intensity of magnetizing field. It is denoted by H. It is denoted by H. Now let us see what is that intensity. The extent to which the magnetizing field can magnetize the material. Is it clear? It is the degree or extent to which the magnetizing field can magnetize the material. Here we saw that how much substance is magnetized, and here how much magnetizing field can magnetize the material. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದೊಂದು ಏರಿಯಾ ಅದ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡ್ತೀರಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸಿ ದಟ್ how much capacity it has, how much capacity that magnetic field has to magnetize the material. That is what the intensity of magnetizing field. ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, the degree or extent to which the magnetizing field can magnetize the substance. That is what the intensity of magnetizing field. And here we can also define it as the ratio of magnetizing field per permeability of the substance. Is it clear? Nodri, this is the expression B0 divided by mu naught ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, B divided by H mu ಬರ್ಕೊಡಿ, no problem. Magnetizing field per unit per permeability of the substance. Permeability ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? What is meant by permeability? How much the substance is allowed to get magnetized. That substance, this substance should give the permission to get magnetized. That is what the permeability. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ನೋಡು, ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟುಪಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಮಾಡು, ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಮಿಯಾಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ವಿಚ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ can magnetize the substance is called intensity of magnetizing field. That is what the H ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ magnetizing field per permeability of the substance is called intensity of magnetizing field, and its unit is ampere per meter ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Next is magnetic permeability. It is the ratio of it is the ratio of magnetic induction B to the magnetic intensity H. It is the ratio of magnetic induction. Magnetic induction is denoted by B to the magnetic intensity H anta kareeತೀವಿ. That is what the magnetic permeability, and its unit is Tesla per ampere meter. Nodri, B ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತದ magnetic field, it is denoted by T Tesla ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. Next per ampere meter ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ, its unit is ampere per meter. H ಅದು ಕೆಳಗದ ಮ್ಯಾಲ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ampere per meter ಇದು ಮ್ಯಾಲ per ampere meter. Is it clear? So this is what the magnetic permeability. And the next one is relative permeability. It is the ratio of permeability of the medium to the permeability of the free space. So this is what the permeability of the medium to the permeability of the free space. I think I have discussed about the permeability of free space in the last chapter only. Permeability of the substance andre ena, permeability of the space andre ena. Is it clear? Medium ತಗೋತೀವಿ divided by ಯಾವುದು permeability of free space. This is what the relative permeability, the ratio of permeability of the medium to the permeability of free space. Okay, and the next one is, last concept is magnetic susceptibility. Magnetic susceptibility, it is denoted by Xi. It is the ratio of magnetization. It is the ratio of magnetization to the magnetic field intensity. That is what M divided by H. Here it is magnetization. Here it is magnetization divided by intensity of magnetizing field is called magnetic susceptibility. This definition is very important. Is a definition very important. The ratio of magnetization to the intensity of the magnetizing field is called magnetic susceptibility anta kareeತೀವಿ. So these are the 7 very important definitions. You should remember it, and you can take a screenshot also. Or else you can write down. Okay. Next is classification of magnetic material. These are very important because in every year they may ask for 3 marks or 5 marks. Is it clear? So they may ask differences, or else they may ask origins of these materials. Okay. So what are those classification of magnetic material? Let us discuss now. On the basis of their behavior in the external magnetic field, the Faraday classified the various substances. So if we take a material, if we take a substance and then we keep that substance in the external magnetic field, then what will happen? Whether they acquire the magnetic property, if they acquire, then how they will be stronger or weaker, and how they get magnetized. Those are divided into 3 classifications. Okay, those substances are classified into 3 substances. Those substances are called diamagnetic substances, paramagnetic substances, and ferromagnetic substances. These are the 3 classification of magnetic material. Now, one substance ತಗೋತೀವಿ, either it may be iron, nickel, cobalt, or platinum, whatever it may be, gold, whatever it may be. If we keep that substance in the field of magnetic field, in the area of magnetic field, then whether they acquire the magnetic property, if they acquire, then how they will be, how they acquire, whether they strong or weaker, let us discuss now. And those are stronger or weaker or very poor magnetizing properties are divided into 3 concepts. That is what diamagnetic substance. First one is the diamagnetic substance. These are the substances which are develop feeble magnetization in the opposite direction of magnetic field. Feeble in the sense very light. They are not strong. Now, one material magnetic field they acquire some magnetic property, but not strongly, but not completely. So they will call it as feeble magnetization. That is what? The substance which develop feeble magnetization in the opposite direction of magnetic field. Okay, now magnetic field lines are traveling from one point to one point. They are moving from in this direction to in this direction. At that point, if I kept a substance in the magnetic field area, they acquire the magnetic property, that too very feebly, or else you can call it as feeble. That too opposite to the direction of magnetic field. Magnetic field direction ಈ ಕಡೆ ಅದ, ಆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಗಳಿಸ್ಕೋತದ, ಬಟ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದ. ಸೊ ಅಂತವಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಯಾಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಡಯಾಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಚ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆರ್ feebly repelled by the magnets. Feebly repelled by the magnets. Why feebly repelled by the magnets ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಾರೆ, first of all, that substance is get magnetizing in the opposite direction of the magnetic field. First of all, the magnetic field lines are traveling in this direction, but the substance is get magnetized, but it is in the opposite direction. So that's why they repel by the magnets, that too feebly. These type of substances are called diamagnetic substance anta karitivi. The example for those diamagnetic substance: bismuth, copper, lead, zinc, gold, silicon. These are the examples. And the next one is paramagnetic substance. These are the substances which develop the feeble magnetization in the direction of magnetic field. Here they get magnetized feebly, that too opposite to the direction of magnetic field. But here these develop the magnetic field in the direction of magnetic field. Is it clear? And these are feebly attracted by the magnets, and these are feebly repelled by the magnets. So what are paramagnetic substances? These substances are feebly magnetized in the direction of magnetic field. Those substances are called paramagnetic substances. Here, these are the substances which develop, which feebly magnetize in the opposite direction, and here these substances feebly magnetize in the direction of magnetic field. So these are the paramagnetic substances, and such substances are feebly attracted by the magnets. The example for those are manganese, aluminium, platinum, sodium, chromium. These are the examples. And the next one is ferromagnetic substances. These are the substances which develop the magnetization in the direction of magnetic field, and they get attracted strongly, and they get magnetized strongly anta kariತೀವಿ. ಏನು? These develop the strong magnetization in the direction of magnetizing field. Here in all the cases they get feebly magnetized, but here they get strongly magnetized in the direction of magnetizing field. These are strongly attracted by the magnets. So example for these are iron, cobalt, nickel, etc. So these are the types of substances: diamagnetic substance, paramagnetic substance, ferromagnetic substance. So diamagnetic substances are the substance which develop the feebly magnetization in opposite to the direction of magnetic field, and here they get magnetized feebly in the direction of magnetic field. And here ferromagnetic substances are which develop strong magnetization in the direction of magnetic field direction. Is it clear? These are very weaker, these are also very weaker, and these are very stronger. Is it clear? So these are the types. Now let us discuss the origin of diamagnetic substances, paramagnetic substances, and ferromagnetic substances. And very important, they ask for 3 marks. Write the origin of dia or para or ferromagnetic material. Let us see origin of diamagnetic materials, paramagnetic materials and ferromagnetic materials. So in case of diamagnetic materials, we can see a pair of electrons which are revolving around the nucleus. Is it clear? We can see a pair of electrons. In that substance, we can see a pair of electrons which are revolving around the nucleus. But one thing, one electron will move in a clockwise direction and another electron will move in the anti-clockwise direction. Here in this case, here the electrons are moving in a anti-clockwise direction as well as clockwise direction with a particular velocity v, and this is what the momentum. This is what the momentum of those electrons. In the absence of external magnetic field, the net magnetic momentum will be zero. Why? Here, the net magnetic momentum of this electron will be, let us consider it is a m1 and this is also m2. Both are equal. So if they are moving opposite to each other, then they get cancelled. So the net magnetic momentum will be magnetic momentum will be zero. That too in the absence of magnetic field. If we take that substance and keep that substance in the external magnetic field, then that substance gets magnetized. At that time, only when in the presence of magnetic field. Now you avoid substance and magnetic field. At that time, the electron's speed, one electron speed goes on increases and another electron goes on decreases. Is it clear? While keeping that substance, while keeping that diamagnetic substance inside the external magnetic field, one electron speed goes on increases and another electron speed goes on decreases. Okay, so let us see that m plus, let us see, that is what, delta m. So one electron speed increases, then momentum also increases, and another electron speed may decrease. That is what, decreases. So net momentum by keeping that substance inside the external magnetic field, the momentum increases, only one electron, and another electron momentum goes on decreases. So what will be the net momentum of these two? Because after all they are opposite to each other. So at that time m plus delta m minus m minus of delta m. Is it clear? They get cancelled and they get added. That is what, the net momentum will goes on increases. That momentum will be increasing. Is it clear? Only when the substance is kept inside the external magnetic field. At that time, due to that momentum, the substance gets magnetized, that too feebly in the opposite direction of the magnetic field lines. So this is what the origin of diamagnetic substances, and they are travel from stronger to weaker region of the magnetic field. These substances are travel from stronger to weaker region of the magnetic field, and they are independent of temperature. So this is what the origin of the diamagnetic material. And the next one, let us take a paramagnetic substance. In case of paramagnetic substance, you can see atoms and molecules also. In the absence of external magnetic field, all the atoms and molecules are oriented randomly. That too, oriented randomly in the absence of magnetic field. Magnetic field another zero. At that time, all the atoms and molecules are randomly oriented. If that substance is kept in the external magnetic field, at that time, all the atoms and molecules are rearranged in this direction. That too in the direction of magnetic field. Is it clear? In the absence of magnetic field, they get oriented, that too randomly oriented. And here, in the presence of magnetic field, all the atoms and molecules are aligned in the direction of magnetic field. They get aligned in the direction of magnetic field ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. At that time they get magnetized. That too feebly, and they travel from weaker region to stronger region. They travel from weaker region to stronger region. That too in low temperature. Here it is independent of the temperature, and it is dependent of the temperature, but temperature should be very low. And this is what the paramagnetic material substances origin. And the next one, ferromagnetic substance. Ferromagnetic substance in the sense, here these are the atoms and molecules which are present in that substance. Which substance? Ferromagnetic substance. Okay, and these are called domains. Domains. What is meant by domain? Domain means it is the group of atoms. Group of atoms. Here you can see the group of atoms. Group of atoms are nothing but the domains. In case of domains, you can see so many number of atoms and molecules. It may be in 1 millimeter. In 1 millimeter, we can see 10 to the power 11 atoms. 10 to the power 11 atoms in 1 millimeter. So here, in case of ferromagnetic substance, we can see the domains. In the absence of external magnetic field, all the domains are randomly oriented. In the absence of external magnetic field, all the domains are randomly oriented if that substance is kept inside the external magnetic field. At that point, all the domains align in the direction of magnetic field. They get aligned in the direction of magnetic field and acquire the most of the properties of the magnetic field lines. Magnets and they get magnetized, that too strongly. So this is what the ferromagnetic material origin. It's very simple. You have to write briefly. Is it clear? I have given in notes, nothing to worry. So one more time I will discuss about this. So the diamagnetic substance origin is, here we can see here you can see the pair of electrons. One electron will revolve in clockwise direction, another electron will revolve in anti-clockwise direction. Is it clear? So in the absence of magnetic field, the net magnetic momentum will be 0. If we kept that substance in the external magnetic field, it gets magnetized and the magnetic momentum will be increasing. So this is what the origin of diamagnetic substance. And here in paramagnetic substance, all the atoms and molecules are randomly oriented in the absence of magnetic field. So if you keep that substance in the external magnetic field, they get aligned in the direction of magnetic field. So this is what the paramagnetic substance origin. And here ferromagnetic materials, you can see the domains in the sense group of atoms. In the absence of external magnetic field, they arrange randomly, but if you keep that substance in the external magnetic field, they get aligned in the direction of magnetic field and they get strongly magnetized. So these are the very simple origin of the diamagnetic, paramagnetic and ferromagnetic substance. Now I think you realize what are the differences between the para and ferromagnetic substances. Even though according to the definition and origin of the substances, we can write the differences of para and ferromagnetic substances.